everybody, David here from Team Powerhouse, the PowerCast live with Eric every Tuesday night, 5 o'clock where you are, and it could be some other time depending where in the country, the world they are watching here today. We've got Ace from Nona's Pizza Place in Southington, an electrifying pizza man. We're going to learn all about him, but before we start our show today, make sure you check us out on YouTube. Go to Team Powerhouse Real Estate. Hit subscribe. Then, of course, go to our TikTok channel, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Anchor. Twitch. You name it, we're on it.
Spotify, Apple Music and Podcasts, Spotify. Guys, we're everywhere you want us to be. Do not hesitate. Please subscribe and follow us live every week. We have a very special guest. His name is Ace. He is with Nona's Pizza Restaurant, and all of you on TikTok who are watching know him very well and the amazing food he makes. So with that being said, everybody who's watching, please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. We're excited to have you on the show, my friend.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Eric and I are very excited
Great topic.
to finally meet you, talk with you, sit down. Well, actually, we met you before in your restaurant, but live on the PowerCast. So let everybody know a little more about you. First question is, where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I grew up in a very small town in Connecticut. It's
What
called
town?
Plymouth.
Oh, Plymouth.
Yeah, there's about 7,000 people in there.
Did you go to school in Plymouth?
I went to school in Terryville. I went to Terryville High School, so that's the school you would go to if you were brought up in Plymouth.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And did you go to school after high school?
I did a semester at Tunxus for like a year, and then actually found a small little pizza job that I started working at, and then I quit school.
You know, college is not for everybody, and the people who get in business in life early are usually very successful. When it comes to having the ability to get into a business, so your first job you had was in pizza.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
And how old were you when you got in the pizza business?
So I first got a job in the pizza business when I was 14, on my 14th birthday.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was my 14th birthday. My dad wanted me to take me out for breakfast. So we went to a breakfast place in Thomaston.
Yeah.
And he ran into a friend there that owned a pizza place, still owns a pizza place. And he says, "Oh, what are you doing?" I took out my son for breakfast, He goes, "Oh, it's his birthday today." He goes, "Oh, how old?" He goes, 14. He goes, "Oh, you ready to start working?" He says, "Yeah, you got a job for him?" He goes, "Absolutely." He's like, when can he start?" He goes, "Today." He goes, "All right, we'll see you at 4 o'clock.
That's awesome.
So
That was the beginning of pizza for you.
yeah, that was the beginning.
And how long did you work in that place for?
I worked there for throughout my whole high school. So
That's pretty amazing.
yeah, I was
So
a
4 or 5
freshman.
years.
Yep, into my senior year, so about 4 years I was there.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a brother and a sister.
Are they watching the show right now?
They definitely are. They should be.
And what are their
Better
names?
be.
My brother's name is Jim,
Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us today.
and my sister Mia.
Mia, welcome to the show.
Yeah, they're a big part of me.
Now, your business, is there anybody else in your family working at Nona's Pizza?
Yeah, my whole family is there.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I got my nieces. I got my parents. I got my brother.
I got to meet your parents, by the way, when I came in there.
Yeah,
I was
they're
actually
cool.
in the pizza restaurant last week with my wife and daughter, and we had such a good time. Ace over here let Drew help out make a pizza.
Yeah,
Is that okay to say?
she's gonna be my next
Your next
pizza woman.
Absolutely. So the name Nona's, how did you come up with that name? What does it translate to? Is it something of family?
Yeah. So in Albanian, I'm Albanian, obviously.
Best food restaurants are Albanians. We'll just start off with that.
Yeah, we definitely took that business over.
Yes.
Nona's. Yes, we call our grandma Nona.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So this actually is named after your grandmother.
Correct.
Pretty
But
cool.
I do want to say that before I bought the business,
Yes.
it was named Nona Artemisia Pizzeria.
Ah.
The guy that had it was heavy on his grandmother's first name in the name of his business.
How ironic.
And then he fumbled the business. I took it over, and out of respect for him, I just took his grandma's name out, and I just kept it Nona's Pizza.
It's a great name for a pizza restaurant.
Yeah, it is.
It's a family.
So
It's
it
a
worked out.
family business with the family working there.
Yeah.
The grandmother, the soul, the heart,
Yeah.
of the
Yep.
family.
For sure.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
What inspired you to open up Nona's Pizza? Like, where did that whole thing come from?
Yeah, so I was working at a bunch of places. I hopped around. The most time I spent in a pizzeria was probably when I was between 22 and 26. It was at a local pizza place in Southington.
Wow.
It was called Formaggio's. And I was the manager of that place. And I stayed there for 4 years. And the owners of the business that they actually owned Gold Rock Diner in West Hartford. I don't know if you guys know that place.
Not yet.
But they owned that place, and they got to the point where they were done with their restaurant life, and they sold the business, and another guy bought it, and I became friends with that guy too. His name is Mike Truss. He's a good guy.
Good people.
Yeah, and from there, I just said, all right, I'm done working for everybody. I'm going to start my own thing.
Getting into your own business, a lot of wild things happen.
Yeah, for sure.
You are there 24/7. You're the guy behind the well, let's call it the curtain. And in this case, there's no curtain because everybody knows they walk into the place, they're going to see you working there.
That's true.
And we'll get into more of that about how much you work and the face of the business and everything that goes on between that as well.
Yeah.
So, did you know you wanted to be in Southington? Was that part of the plan originally? How did you get to Southington? Because the business was known as that's how the whole thing came to play, right?
That fell into play, which it already did. And then on top of that, I had already a name for myself with the other place
Yeah,
that I was working at. So everybody just started following me.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to Nona's Pizza, so what was the exact first date when you personally took over and it first opened up under your new management?
Yeah, the first thing we did was we entered a bunch of local competitions.
Really?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes. It's now called the Taste of Southington. But before that, it was more of a competition. And when I was in competition, I forgot to bring my awards with me. I'll bring them. I'll send you pictures of them.
We'll put it on for the rendition of this podcast. By the way,
When-
every Saturday, Jonathan will take this podcast and he will take it and make it beautiful. He does a lot of edits, and with that, we can throw in the medals and the trophies.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be
You guys are
fantastic.
going to want to see that.
Cool.
I consecutively, back to back, won Best Pizza in Southington under Formaggio's name when I was working there.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I swear to you, they stopped the competition because I kept winning.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, you go out with a high mic drop, right? You just kind of mic dropped it out there.
It really, that's what happened. And they stopped doing a competition.
And listen, it's not you're the only pizza place in Southington, so that's a lot to say for yourself. I mean, there's lots of pizza places.
Right now, there's 28 places in Southington that sell pizza.
28 pizza
I
places.
didn't think there was that many.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
The pizza business is something that is like no other business because they pop up in all different kind of places. Everybody wants to be a pizza owner, but to be
Yeah.
a pizza owner is involving a lot of time, money, effort, energy, and you have to know how to make a pizza.
For sure.
And not just making a pizza, how many different kind of pizzas you make.
Right.
And some more questions over the years. So,
Yeah.
what actually makes your pizza so special?
Well,
Besides what I think.
yeah.
And the TikTok nation who's watching us here live today,
Yes.
your pizza is gone viral. We'll go into the viralness about your pizza and who
Yeah,
you
for
are.
sure.
But, as far as so what are some of the attributes about your pizza that you would say make it so special for the people come inside?
I want to say this. If you had to say, all right, what's the best part of his pizza? It's the whole thing. Everything that's just created about it. First off, I'm only open 5 hours a day. So if you want an ace Nona pie, you gotta catch us within 5 hours to come and get it. That all has to do with the time that we prep the dough. We make our own sauce. We grind the cheese. By the time the dough rises, it's down to a science the way we have it.
It's as fresh as pizza can be.
Yes,
It's literally almost like farm to table pizza.
it really is.
I
It
mean-
really is. Nothing's frozen.
Everything, got to see the back inside over there, what's going on. And it's an amazing little setup you got going on there.
Yeah.
And it's not a huge place.
No.
And the amount of pizza you're putting through that place is pretty wild.
It's nuts.
It is.
It is nuts. Friday nights are just absolute bonkers. It's
Are you closed any nights of the week?
just Monday nights.
So outside of Monday night, which we all typically have, the Mondays are off, right?
Yeah.
So Tuesday through Sunday,
Which I never understood with Monday Night Football on, but
You know why? Because it's like an international pizza man's day off.
right?
Yeah.
Right. That's an interesting point, Eric. You make Monday football.
you know how many
this-
times on Monday Night Football I've wanted to order pizza and couldn't?
Right. But you know, it's interesting you said that because what other night would you be closing? I mean, I guess is Tuesday night better than Monday night versus? I mean,
That's what it came down to.
Right.
You know, what day? There are some places that close Tuesday and open Monday. That part I didn't understand. Why would you close in the middle of the week? You know.
maybe because Eric's mentioned Monday football. That might be a thing. You know, you have to kind of look at the Tuesday nights now for yourself. Maybe you flip it around. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? It's an idea.
Well, you could always order a pizza on Sunday and have it for Monday.
There you go. Absolutely. Prepared. Now, you make lots of different kind of pizzas, right? So first question is, what is your most popular pizza you make?
Well, after going viral,
After
Cheese.
going viral, for sure.
cheese pie is definitely the most popular right now. Everybody just wants to see what the hype is around me, you know, why everything happened, and why I'm going crazy on TikTok. But if I had to say, other than cheese, you know, our pepperoni pie is definitely the second biggest ordered thing at the restaurant. It's unique because we use deli sliced pepperoni.
It's like paper thin.
Yeah.
And the flavor in that pepperoni that we tried with that pizza, it like had like a taste that continued after you finish eating it.
Yeah, it's real.
It's
You know,
th-
most of these pizza places, they just buy the frozen pepperonis in a box and just throw it on the pie. We literally hand slice the stick of pepperoni. It's like this big, and we throw it on the pie.
It's a pretty nice. It's a pretty
Yeah.
nice experience. Now you also make gluten pizza.
Yes.
Now gluten is
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free. I'm sorry, gluten-free pizza. Thank you very much, Eric. Gluten-free pizza. With gluten-free pizza, it's probably the biggest rave today, and I think it's a lot of reasons for it. I'm 48 years old, and what I was saying earlier was that I noticed that my body has gone through some changes. If I have too much bread or too much gluten, I find myself actually feeling like I can't eat as much pizza.
Right.
You know, where a gluten pie, if I have a gluten pie, I can kill the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I don't suffer afterwards. But besides that, there are people who are gluten allergic,
Yeah.
and it's become a big thing. And your gluten pizza is top notch. Now, your gluten pizza is different than most gluten pizzas that you find in most restaurants. Would you agree?
I 100% agree.
What is it about your gluten pizza? You don't buy a frozen pizza?
No, we don't buy a frozen product like most places do. The thing is with the gluten-free is this. We had an incident. We had a pizza party
Yep.
at
Yeah.
for a customer of ours,
Yep.
and lady calls back and says, "Oh, my daughter's left out of eating a pizza. She's sitting by herself." And mind you, this was a Saturday at like 5 o'clock. I'm busy as hell, and I felt so bad for this little girl.
Right.
And she said that, you know, she was sick and tired of going to pizza places and not being able to, you know, order pizza for her daughter because
Right.
she hated that frozen stuff. So right away I got on the internet and I'm very well connected with a bunch of distributors and all that. But mind you, it's 5:30 on a Saturday. They're all closed.
Of course.
So I contacted this one guy that I know has a good product. Their company name is Still Riding, and they're a company out of Bloomfield that makes the gluten-free dough like per order. So if you're to order from them, they'll bring you like a case of their fresh dough already made, and you could store it up to your refrigerator for like 48 hours.
Okay.
So, and it's cool because they all come like packed in for like 12 pieces, you know, already packed in. So I did that. I contacted the guy and I said, "Listen, I have a girl that's, you know, has a celiac disease. You know, what do we do?" He says, "Oh, I'm going to send you a pie right now." I drove all the way to Bloomfield to pick up the case.
No kidding.
Yeah. And
What a special kind of guy. That's going above and beyond for your clients.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest things that Eric and I talk about, like what makes us different than anybody else, is that relationship building with your clients. It's going above and beyond that initial step and through the whole process to make sure that those clients know what kind of experience you're going to have from beginning to end. And what you just did for your client, you just exploded
Yeah.
on an emotional level for people, on a personal level for people. And that's a guy who really cares about his clients. And that's a guy who really wants to go a step beyond and be remembered about that way.
Yeah. So after that incident, I started advertising the gluten-free pizza for everybody in Southington. And there's a huge page on Facebook. It's called Positively Gluten-Free. And I got introduced to that, and I started advertising on there that we sell, gluten-free. And then I didn't know much about celiac disease, though.
Right.
And it's a very serious thing. I didn't realize how many people have this condition. And I wanted to dedicate a separate section of our pizza place where there's no cross-contamination for people that have celiac.
Wow.
And that's a big part of our business as well. The gluten-free pies are, and I tell you, man, like when it comes out of the oven, it smells like a fresh baked Italian bread. And it's just like, wow.
It's special.
Yeah.
And of
For
course,
sure.
you can always add on whatever kind of toppings you want. And you have special toppings that are dairy-free as well.
We
Am I
do,
right?
yeah.
I mean, when we were in there, your girl in the front, she's like, listen, in case you have, she started throwing things at us, and I was like, what? Look, I've never heard this before. So let's talk about some of the ingredients you guys carry in your place that are a little different than most pizza places, if somebody wants.
Yeah. So for part of our specialty pies, that's where the ingredients usually intertwine. We have multiple different specialty pizzas. One of those ones that are we're very popular for is the penne alla vodka one.
Oh my God! I saw the penne alla vodka. Eric and I were watching that. I said, and Eric's like, "Okay, I gotta eat something right now. I'm
It's
starving."
killer.
It looks so delicious.
We have a pie called the Southington Masher. It's a mashed potato pizza with bacon and cheddar cheese.
Wow.
Comes with a side of sour cream. It is.
Sounds awful.
It's good.
The next time we have you on the show, we definitely have to make sure. We should do a show from your restaurant.
Let's do
We
it.
should do a podcast from your place. How awesome would that be?
I'm down for that.
That could be a lot of fun.
Let's do it.
This way we can actually get the camera back there.
Yeah,
Try the
for
pizza
sure.
on site. Maybe get a whole
Spin the dough.
Spin it.
Yeah, I'm not spinning no dough.
I talked to Eric about your spinning the dough. There's a complete art to that, because you don't actually you see people spinning the dough. You think they're spinning on a finger. It's not. What's the trick to the dough spinning? Can you share that with us, or is that too?
Yeah, no, I can share it. It's something you gotta practice though.
Yeah.
It's not like just riding a bike. You know what I mean? 2-3 times, and then you'll get the balance of it, and it goes on. There's so much you got to make sure that the ratio is completely even before you start tossing it up in the air. So if the side of the pizza is too thick and the middle is too thin, well, when you start to spin it, you're gonna create a hole inside the middle of the pie.
Guilty.
That's usually
Guilty.
what happens,
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's like the number one rule for.
And by the way, again, Jonathan and Joey over here, if you see anybody have any questions on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, please let us know so we can let people, answer those questions for these people over here watching.
For sure.
So what kind of
This is a question we have out there.
yeah, it's from me. What kind of accommodations do you have with your pies? Like you mentioned the gluten-free and the dairy-free. What kind of dietary restrictions can you accommodate at your restaurant?
Oh, on the spot. Dietary restrictions. What does that mean? Is that
Like
mean
allergen, nut free.
Anything like can you what
Well,
do you
I'll
have
tell
to
you-
offer people? Do you like for vegetarian people too?
Yeah, we also have a product that's a vegan free.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Vegan-free pizza.
Yep, it's vegan cheese.
Wow. Vegan
Yeah.
cheese. I never heard that before.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, the real thing is the best. But
Right.
for somebody that can't have dairy, we do have a vegan cheese for them.
We have vegan pizza. We have gluten-free pizza.
Yeah.
We got pizza like out of the heart and soul of your family business over here.
Yeah.
You got the freshest ingredients going on to paper slim pepperoni.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Penne
your
alla vodka.
penne alla vodka.
So how much hate mail do you get from your competitors?
Good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That brings me to part number 2.
Yeah. Let me elaborate on that. There's there's a stigma going around for everybody that is saying New York has better pizza, New Jersey has better pizza, Connecticut has better pizza. Well, let me just clear the air out there for everybody that's listening.
This is important if you're listening, everybody. This is very important. Listen what Jason's going
Connecticut,
to say right now.
Except for those of you in New York. Go ahead.
Let's get this on film.
Yeah.
Let's get this on film. Let's make sure he's watching and not forget it
Make sure
either.
everybody's
There's a
listening.
turning point in everybody's lives right
Yeah.
now.
All right, so Ace,
Yeah.
who has the best pizza?
And why?
In the tri-state,
Yes.
Connecticut. And it's by a mile.
By a mile.
By a mile.
But one of the biggest things about most of these restaurants is you don't have the owner in the restaurant making the pizza,
Yeah.
where you can see him making it, watch him make it, see his smile,
That's true.
and his personal connection with you. You walk in every restaurant nowadays, and you've got lots of people on the chain in there cooking their pies,
Yeah.
but it's not the owner.
That's the difference. This is what everything started when I became viral on TikTok. You know, I know you wanted to ask me that later on.
Yeah,
but I'm
no,
just
we'll
gonna
talk
give
about
it
it
to
now.
you
Let's go
right
into
now.
TikTok right now. We have over how many millions of people? First of all, there's it's about 9,000 people that follow you, I think, on TikTok alone, and it's probably going to get a little higher from this after this episode, by the way.
Absolutely.
Not to mention, one of your episodes had over 2.8 million views.
Yeah. Yeah.
2.8 million views on a TikTok. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
So I didn't even have any intentions on opening a TikTok,
How did the whole TikTok thing start for you?
for sure. Had a kid come in, pizza place,
How old was he? 15, 18, 20?
probably 20 years old,
Okay.
and says to me, "Hey, I'm starting a marketing business. You know, can I revamp your website and this and that?" And my website is very friendly user already. It's very easy to use.
Right.
If you want to order a pie, you know. So I denied him on that end, and he says to me on his way out, he goes, "Hey, hold on a second. How come you don't have a TikTok account?" And I said, "TikTok account?
Right.
What is this guy talking about?"
Right.
You know, I see my nieces on that thing doing their dances. Like, what am I going to do with a pizza place on there?
Kids.
I mean, I don't want to attract little kids in this, but I mean, I don't know. you
Attract
know?
everybody. You know what TikTok is doing? It's actually flowing up the ladder to old
It
people
is.
like myself.
I know. It's
You know what I mean?
crazy.
It's unbelievable.
So I said, all right. I created a TikTok account, and I started making little videos. By the way, I give my full credit to everybody that's out there editing these TikTok videos. They are not easy. It is probably the hardest kind of editing you could imagine. To get that like perfect film, perfect sound with the clip editing and the text and the tags and the hashtags are so important in there. It's very difficult. I happened to get lucky one night. I was making a pizza and I said, videotape this real quick. This is an old trick that we use in a pizza place. So I made a pizza. It was literally too big for the box.
Well, you know, I always wondered how they do that because these boxes are so square. There's no
Yeah.
give to the box.
No.
It's either small, medium, or large. But
Yeah.
what if the pizza that comes out
And
off shape?
sometimes it does, you know, like when we were talking about the stretching thing, you know,
Yeah.
if I overstretch,
Yeah.
I can't get it to go back down. So it is
Right.
what it is. So there's a little trick that you use, and you kind of, you know, make the pie. If it comes out too big for the box, you can kind of cut the center piece out and then put the two halves together to make it smaller, to make it fit inside the box. This just went off with a sound that they have on TikTok saying nobody's gonna know.
Nobody's going to know.
Yeah, and they literally won't ever know.
Right.
So I filmed it, I did it, I threw it up, and boom.
You went to bed.
Yeah, I went to bed. I had no clue it was gonna pop. You know, it was probably like my fourth video on TikTok, and then I woke up in the morning with people calling me, texting me, "Yo, man, you went viral. You're viral. That's it. You made it. That's it." And I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Right.
I hop on and like my phone is just like scrolling through. I'm scrolling through notifications of hundreds of thousands of likes on the video. Wow. Yeah.
Anybody
and,
give you any grief about it?
Yeah. Oh my God. These trollers on TikTok are brutal.
Oh yeah.
They're like ruthless. they were like, "Oh, hey, man, I knew that's what you did with my pizza. Don't you ever? I'm never ordering from you again."
You're taking out pieces of my pizza.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't get in the box. How are you going to deliver that pizza to them?
Right.
They're going to come out and the pizza's going to be hanging outside the box. What are you going to
Exactly. So, and I'm like, and at the same time, I'm like, I never even heard of this guy, you know?
Right.
Guy has 0 followers and he's screaming at me in the comments of the second of the video.
Well, I like when Dave showed me some of the TikTok videos
Yeah.
of that cut.
Yeah.
I noticed each time you ate what was cut out.
Oh,
It was not disposed of.
No,
It's-
that's our.
How much of your own stuff do you eat?
That's a good question.
All right. So
How many pizzas do you make for yourself a night? I don't know. How many pieces are we missing from the pie? No,
Yeah.
obviously.
Pizza's one of those foods that you can eat every day.
You
Literally,
you could
you can eat it
literally,
every day.
and that's the thing with my pie. You could literally eat it every day,
Right.
and not get sick of it.
But you know what? For a guy who makes pizzas, you're not a big guy.
Listen, I got
No,
a
no, no,
little-
no, no, no.
I'm
Come
a
on.
little chubby.
No, but I mean, like, for the amount of, because honestly, God, who doesn't love pizza? I
Yeah.
mean, when you meet someone who's like pizza, you're like, okay, you're weird.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know what to
You're
say.
different.
I like pizza, bread, sauce, and cheese. I mean, it's like one of the most delicious things. And by the way,
Yeah.
pizza is actually one of the healthier things to eat out of the food groups, put together. You have your protein, the cheese, you have your
Yeah.
carbohydrates, you have your vegetable, and then whoever knows what else you put on there.
That's true.
Eric loves extra vegetables.
Joking. I don't eat vegetables.
They're good though.
Eric's
Like,
a meat-
our vegetable pie is amazing.
No, but Eric's a meat lover.
So that penne alla vodka
Yeah.
was a specialty request, right?
Yeah.
And it ended up being on your menu?
No.
Or was it? No.
That one, I have to shout out my friend Gucci for that. Shout out Gucci. He
Right, mate.
yeah, he was like, one day we were arguing. We used to work together.
Yeah.
And we were arguing. I said I wanted a pizza. He said he wanted a dinner. So I said, no, let's just make a pizza. It's quicker. He's like, no, let's make the dinner. So I said, you know what? Why don't you make your dinner? I'll make my pizza. He goes, why don't I throw my dinner on top of your pizza and call it a pizza?
Oh my gosh.
And this is how it started.
Wow, it's like Reese's chocolate and peanut butter, huh?
Literally. And he
Wow.
literally just chefed up the pot of penne alla vodka. I went over, made a large cheese, and he literally just threw the penne alla vodka on top of the pizza. We threw it in the oven. The best thing we ever created.
Wow.
You made a chicken fettuccine Alfredo
Yeah, that
pizza.
was a request.
I mean, but when I saw that video, I said, oh my God, that's genius.
Yeah.
I mean, you're bringing two best things together.
Yeah, that was really good.
Pasta and pizza together. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Carb overload.
Yeah, but you know what though? It's good to have it. It's good
Yeah.
to have when you can have it. Let me ask you a question. Speaking of that whole thing with the gluten, so with how carried away can you get with gluten pizza? Like, how does that work?
You got to actually be careful.
Right.
Because there's certain items that we can't put in our gluten pie, like our meatballs.
Yeah,
We home make our meatballs.
homemade.
Yeah. For
Mom or dad?
So it's got breadcrumbs
Both.
in it.
Mom and dad making the
Yeah.
meatballs.
Yeah. Like every day.
That's
and
awesome.
so it's got breadcrumbs in it.
Yep.
You know, you can't put that on the pie. Another topping that's huge that people always want to order is our eggplant, which is, it's battered, it's fried, and I cannot put that on the gluten pie.
Makes fair and
Yeah.
reasonable sense. Your competition. Your
Yeah.
competition is getting a little crazy. And they're getting a little hot in the pants about you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are getting upset that you're getting so much notification on the pizza you're making, and I guess jealous is a nice way to put it, but they're getting a little hostile out there.
Yes.
That's not right. What's going on with that? I mean, literally, there are places in New Haven that are talking about you.
Right.
Notice Pizza in Southington, Connecticut.
Yeah.
But you've done something when
Hated and loved.
when they're hitting back, you hit a nerve there.
Right. Here's the thing. Like, I first started this whole thing with Connecticut being the best. And then, again, the trolls on TikTok started tagging all these places in Connecticut, in New Haven. And I didn't pay no mind to it, we're all one state, we should stick together. That's how I thought of it.
Sure.
Until one of them responded to somebody's tagged comment and said, for me to check back in 80 years.
Oh, jeez.
They've been there for 80 years. Now,
Right.
I'm going to give you the name. It's Sally's.
Right.
This is what happened with them. Somebody had tagged them after I made a video claiming I had the best pie. They barked back in the comment section and said, and I'll give you the screenshot of that as well. You know, we shouldn't be arguing about this. You know, I've been in business 80 years, check back in 80 years, something along those
Well,
lines.
the pizza people who own Sally's today are not the same people who used to own Sally's.
Exactly my point. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
80 years ago. My father wasn't even born 80
Right.
years ago.
I mean, listen, they make good pizza.
Right.
But it's not the same owners. That's the different. You're the owner of the restaurant. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I wrote, obviously, I'm not going to just let somebody talk to me like that. You know, I barked back at all of them. So this particular restaurant, I wrote back, I said, well, you know what? It took you 80 years to supposedly be the best or whatever that you guys are claiming to check back in 80 years. I was like, it only took me 3.
It's pretty impressive stuff. You know,
So-
so that was 3 years in the business, known as pizza.
Yeah.
And your address, by the way, everybody should know what your address is. It's on Center Street. What's the
On
exact?
Center Street, 131 Center Street in Southington, downtown. I'm right next to the Groggy Frog, shout out to them, and the Sons of Italy.
And not to mention, let's put a phone number out there for people to get in touch with your restaurant to order pizza.
Yeah, for sure. 860-836-5100.
And Jonathan will get that up on the screen for everybody to see later on as well.
For
Can we
sure.
write that down? That number again, was it? Please.
860-863-5100.
863-863-5100. And what's the website?
Nonaspizza.com.
So it would be NONNA
Pizza.com.
pizza.com. All right, everybody, make sure you have that number. Make sure you go to the website. Make sure you know how to order and get in touch with this guy over here. But before we end this show,
Yeah.
because we have somebody that we want to bring into your place, El Presidente, David Portnoy, the man, a legendary in the pizza world, right? He needs to come and check you out.
Yeah.
He needs to come down and see what's going on in Southington. And if you're out there, make sure you tag Dave Portnoy, El Presidente, and make sure that he knows somebody wants to meet him and have a chance to have him try his pie.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Dave. He's gone viral. He's got a lot of money. He's doing his thing with Barstool. That's great. Good for him. There's no hate there. My thing is this. If he was to go back to those places that he rated, he gave Sally's like a 9.2 or 9.4 or something like that. His highest. He's always mentioning it. Well, it's not Sally's. It's not this. Go to Sally's 5 days in a row and let me know if you have the same pizza. And then we'll have a conversation.
Interesting point you make. You
I
know?
bet if you come to my place 5 days in a row, guess what? These hands are going to make your pie 5 days in a row. That's what separates me from the others.
You know, that I can
Good
see.
point.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I mean, honestly, every pizza place you go to, if you visit, you know, the waitresses you know, the waiters you know, or the people inside, but are the people who are actually making the pizza, those people every day making that pizza for them.
Yeah.
And anybody who's a family-owned business maybe specifically will have what you're doing and have the blood, sweat, and tears in their business. But most people don't realize that those other companies out there, those other pizza places, aren't necessarily the pizza from the family that are there 6 days a week making pizza.
Right.
You know, and that makes a huge difference because when you walk into his pizza place, it's going to be the same quality
It's
pie
going to
every
be
time.
me. And that's the biggest thing. You know, when after we blew up, everybody started saying, oh, you know, open up in New Haven, open up in New York, open up in Florida. Florida doesn't have any good pizza. Listen, if I was to open up in all these places, I can't be at 2 places, 3 places at one time.
Right.
You know, that's a big thing right there.
That's a good point.
You know, you want Nona's, you want the best pizza, you got to come and see me. That's it.
Well, it's definitely worth the drive. It's definitely worth the wait. It's definitely worth the excitement. I'll tell you that for sure. When you watch him on TikTok, as many of you guys are watching, we have about 9,000 people on TikTok right now watching this show. Facebook, Instagram, about now 10,000 people watching. The amount of activity happening right now on this podcast for you, it's unbelievable. And people are going to come looking for you in a nice, most loving way to get that pizza into their system.
For sure.
And again, to try it. You know, and to get to hear that crunch of the crust. I mean, when you make those TikTok videos with it, cutting the knife, and I look how you hold that pizza up in there, and the flop is sitting just right.
Yeah, it's very key.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I absolutely
art.
It's an art.
It is. It's a science.
It's definitely a
And
science.
yeah.
You know, is there anything you want the people out there, I mean, we've talked about a lot of things.
Yep.
You know, we have a lot of people out there. Any questions out there by chance over there?
Yeah, we have a couple. They'd like to know what your favorite topping is.
What mine is?
What's your favorite topping on pizza? It's a great question.
Listen, man, that's so hard because I get into moods sometimes where I'll probably shock you all if I tell you, like, honestly, like, if I'm making a white pie, right, no sauce, my favorite topping on there would be feta cheese, and you're probably gonna be like, what?
That sounds actually pretty good.
But it's so good. You
Interesting.
know? And like one of the classics is you always gotta have garlic on the pie.
Oh,
Like
yes.
I think that's like a super classic. But if we're talking just standard pie every day, if I had to choose between them all, it would just be a cheese pie. That's my absolute favorite.
You know, that's when you actually get to enjoy and
Yeah.
know the pizza to learn. It's like when you add the toppings after,
Yeah.
which are fantastic,
Yeah.
especially when they're fresh like yours are. You know, it's about actually knowing the base.
True.
The base of that pizza would have started off like with that sauce, and then when you get the, let's say, the different kind of meats or vegetables, when you put them in that, and the way the flavor comes off the vegetables, depending on how you make it, or the meats
That's
you put it on
true.
there, like a sausage pizza
Yep.
is going to have the fat from the sausage and the juices of
Yeah,
the cheese.
that's
the
very
pepperoni,
key.
right? Do you do any pies with seafood at all?
We only do a clam pie.
Well, it's a pretty popular pie.
Yeah, if you're in Connecticut and you have a pizza place, you don't sell clams. You're in the wrong state, buddy.
Any other questions out there, Joey?
No, not on the TikTok.
All right. Guys, we want to thank you so much, first of all, for joining us here today on this TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and every other social media we're on. This is going to go and be replayed, by the way. We're going to have an edited version on Saturday also.
Yeah.
And Jonathan adds a little spice, a little music. It gets exciting. But we want to thank you all for watching today. Please go to our YouTube channel. Go to Team Powerhouse Real Estate. Hit subscribe. You can watch Ace on the PowerCast
For sure.
and the edited version. Make sure to share. Please check us out on social media. And by the way, Eric and I, believe it or not, what we do for a living is real estate. So that being said, if you're out there looking to buy or sell a house, we would love to help you out and build that relationship as well.
Yeah, listen to all my followers. If you guys are looking for a house, these are the two guys to contact. There's no other people to contact. They're the top of the game. They're elite. They're at the same level as Nona's is with pizza.
Amen. Thank you for the compliment. That's awesome. Ace, thank you so much for being here today, man. We really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having
You're
me.
awesome.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
you.
man.
27-minute drive.
That's it. 27 minutes from the best pizza in the
Yeah.
world.
That's not
Mark
far
that
off.
down.
Amen.
We have to just stop.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Guys, one more thing. At the end of every show, by the way, if you subscribe to our social media, you get our Instagram, our Facebook. You're going to go and you're going to get a chance to be a lucky winner. Every week, we get a free tumbler out to our people who subscribe, a chance to win. So let's get to that wheel there, Jonathan, and let everybody see who the lucky winner this week is.
Who is it?
There we go. Here comes the lucky winner.
Bratz Engineering from Instagram. BRATZ Engineering from Instagram.
And I know exactly who that is. That's a very good guy, very nice family, good clients.
It's awesome.
All right. Hey, Anthony, congratulations, you won a tumbler. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week on the PowerCast. We love having you to join us, and we will see you next week.
Yes.
Happy Halloween, everybody.